Hello everyone. Today I'm covering errors that arise from not initializing variables in Eclipse. I will have a description that links to different parts of the video to save you some time. Although this video is covering errors in Eclipse, I will try to explain them well enough so that this info is transferable to other IDEs. To clear up some confusing definitions, declaring a variable means that you have stated that there is a place in memory that needs to be reserved for use. The data type defines how much memory to reserve and how to treat that memory space. This is why you cannot simply give a variable a value until you have declared it. This is needed in Java and C++ and many other languages. There are, however, languages such as PHP that are a lot looser when it comes to this. However, if you get used to Java and other application languages such as C++, you will come to prefer this over giving a variable memory space dynamically. For example, ints and longs take different memory spaces even though they both deal with numbers. An int may be given some memory space to work with, but a long will have more space allocated. Also be aware of the order. You do not want to use a variable before you declare it. So I have already created a project called variables_initializing_video, and I have a class created called variable tester. Feel free to make your workspace match what I have. So we will have two variables called name and age. One will be a string and the other will be an int. We have not given them values yet, so we say that they have just been declared. Now if we try to display them, what do you think will happen? Go ahead and try it yourself. It is important to experience the error now than when you're trying to program something important. Notice that you get a very detailed error about how you need to initialize the variable. This is very nice since many IDEs and compilers will just give you what is called a null pointer. Just know that this is what the error is being thrown for. However, for complicated data types such as arrays, it will be harder for the compiler to check for initialization errors. It may not actually display an error. Primarily, if you use an array, it most likely will not get highlighted anywhere in the editor, but will show up when you try running the program. A null pointer is basically a variable that is trying to be used that has no value, or if you prefer, it is null. Java does not like working with null values, and so makes it easy to structure your program so you can avoid them. This is great compared to PHP, which is significantly harder to structure a program to avoid null pointers. A real-life example of a null pointer is getting a box to hold a gift for your girlfriend. It has a defined size to hold something not too expensive. Her birthday is on a Thursday. Unfortunately, you're a lazy jackass and ordered her gift last minute. It is going to arrive on Friday. So you end up giving an empty box to her on her birthday. She opens it, and congratulations. Your relationship has crashed. You might say, well, the box was technically not empty, it had air, but under no circumstance is air an acceptable value to display or use. It would have been better had you bothered to have an emergency placeholder gift to put in the box. But because money is tight, you need to be able to have some money left over for food and housing. Plus, she really should just get over herself and know how lucky she is to get a damn box in the first place. So hopefully you now understand why variable declarations and initializations are so important to understand. So we have two variables, name and age, and we cannot use them yet. If we try adding 1 to age, you'll get a null pointer, saying that variable age has not been initialized. Why is this? Well, you need to talk it out. New age is being set equal to null plus 1. What is the final value of new age? Well, what is null plus 1? Well, I sure don't know, and you probably don't know. Is the final age 1? Nope, because null does not mean 0 in Java. In the end, you need to give age a starting value before doing anything with it. We will give it a value 20. Notice that it outputs 21. Also note that on this line, we declare the variable age, and we initialize the variable age here. If you declare and initialize the variable on one line, for example, like this, programmers might just say that the variable is declared. And this is just shorthand for saying that it is both declared and initialized. Here is an example of an if statement that initializes the variable age. If the name equals John, age equals 21. Then we display the variable. Notice that even though the program seems like it should run fine, since we declare the variable and then we initialize it, we are unable to run it. It says age has not been initialized, even though we initialized it here. Why is this? Well, we need to ask ourselves, what if name is Jeff or Caitlin? My God, what if it's Todd or something like that? Our program can't handle that. There, fixed. Wait, what if the user enters Bartholomew or just random gibberish? If you haven't noticed, this is a growing issue. There are an infinite number of names to account for. The user could enter any name, and if it's none of these 5, then what's the final value of age? If the user enters Tom, then will any of these if statements execute? They won't. And since age hasn't been initialized here, and since there's no if statement to initialize it when the user enters Tom, the program will crash. And in fact, it won't even let you run this. So what we'll do instead is if the name is not John, we will have an else statement that initializes the age to 18. Notice that we don't get any more errors, and we're actually able to run the program. Notice that having else's after if statements, or having the default statement in switches, can protect you from these issues. Also, if we initialize it with the number 0 at the start, it will work. Null pointers will be an issue that is present in all types of variables or objects, including arrays. For example, if we remove this statement for our scanner object, we'll notice that it is only being declared, and we get an error saying that the scanner variable is not initialized. So we need to initialize it. And usually we initialize it inside the same line that we declare it. Let me know if there is anything I missed or need to clear up, probably in the description. Alright, bye.